Andreeva is hitting it big here. Oh, but it's out.
Too big on that occasion. Swiatek
way big on that one there. So the comeback has been completed. Iga Swiatek is able to see off the 17-year-old teenage sensation. I know I'm not talking about Luke Littler. I'm talking about Mirra Andreeva. Mirra was able to take the first set, got a break early on in the first set, and was able to see it out to win the first set 6-4. But then nobody can stop Iga when she's able to find a good bit of form. Got that early break in the second set, was able to win that 6-3. And the third set, both players played unbelievably well on their own serves. But it was just that last service game where Andreeva just crumbled. The wall was broken. The wall started to crack. And Iga was able to serve it out to win 7-5. What did you make of that match then, Matt?
Yeah, I mean, I think that kind of epitomizes why Swiatek is the number one, because she was up against a player who was not giving her anything really until towards the end, but really just fighting after every ball. I mean, the serve from Andreeva in the big moments was huge, saved a lot of break points. But Swiatek just stayed in it, stayed fighting, and came through in the end just because of how good she is.
No, and it's these sorts of matches where in the past Iga certainly has fallen apart against, or say fallen apart, has lost really and not really shown that sort of form and momentum. She's going to have a tougher test against Sabalenka, probably Sabalenka. I'd say that just as just based on seeding, that's who she could potentially play in that next round. And Sabalenka has taken the first set 6-3, which is interesting to note. But do you think she's setting herself up well for the US Open based on this result?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's the first hardcore tournament, or only hardcore tournament before the US Open, so it's definitely not a bad one. I think she'll be willing to take the title, but if it is against Sabalenka in the next round, that's going to be the big test. And if she can come through that, then I think it's really looking like Swiatek will be the favourite. But I think Sabalenka is the big threat for Swiatek in this tournament.
She certainly is. I mean, as the tweet from Damien we just had up on the screen just before points out, that kind of felt like what we were hoping for when it comes to a Swiatek-Goff match. Whereas, in those matches we generally see Swiatek pummeling Goff on a number of occasions, and actually maybe Andreeva could end up being that proper rival, that young rival, to take on Swiatek and to make those matches really consistent. And just as other stat up there saying that semi-finals were reached at a WTA 1000 event, there have been 17 times that has happened from Iga from 31 appearances, which is over 50%. So over 50% of all the WTA 1000 events Iga has played, she has got to the semi-finals or better. That is a brilliant stat to show the consistency that Iga is able to bring to the court.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, if you look at the names she's alongside, she's like already a legend, but she's only 23 years old. It's kind of crazy.
And just a final word on the opponent. She did play unbelievably well. First time playing Iga Swiatek and taking it to 7-5 in the fifth. 7-5 in the fifth. 7-5 in the third is absolutely no mean feat. She's shown her star quality. She's shown the level that she can bring. It's all upside from here, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I mean, I think it says a lot that Andreeva is disappointed to lose to Iga Swiatek, given that she's only 17. So at their first meeting, it kind of shows the belief she has in herself, the belief that people have in her and her potential. Like, Andreeva's not just a flash in the pan; she's like one for the future and one for the present, and will be a big threat in the US Open draw, especially as a seed.
She certainly will be. And of course, she will be a seed at the US Open. She's going to be one of the low 20 seeds. And a lot of players I'm guessing a lot of seeded players will be very thankful for the fact that she's not going to be floating around as an unseeded, dangerous player in the first couple of rounds. But she's certainly going to be somebody who we're going to watch with interest to see how she makes her way through the US Open draw. And really putting herself potentially maybe in that tier 2, maybe tier 3, potential maybe even a shout for tier 2 category as a player to watch out for, potentially maybe even winning the title. She's certainly able to get those big wins, and she got her first title under her belt. She did in Romania a few weeks ago. So nothing can go past this teenage sensation in Mirra Andreeva. And at that point there, we will wrap it up here because we've been on here for a while. It's been 3 hours, and I'm guessing we're all losing our voices. We need to make sure that my name's gone blank. Nick there has plenty of time to be able to set up the Rublev versus Sinner match. Any final words from you, Matt?
No, other than really, it's been a good watch. It's been very intriguing. I think a lot more tight than people were thinking it was going to be. But yeah, a great watch, and it'll be interesting to see how both do at the US Open.
And I agree, and I hope as well this is going to be a match we're going to see plenty of times in the future on all the surfaces. Definitely. This could certainly be the setup of a great rivalry over the next 5 to 10 years. Maybe we've seen the start of it. Hopefully we've not seen the end. Thank you everyone for joining, and goodbye.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.